Just Gil's Arena. We've been out here really just controlling the news cycle all week. After our interview with Steph Curry dropped on Monday, Steph said he thought he was the greatest point guard ever, putting himself over Magic. Been feeding the community. The smoke machine just queefed.
Shout out to Steph.
See, smoke machine done.
Shout out to Steph.
Smoke machine
That's
done.
a pre-fart.
They already done. But everybody, been keeping people employed this week. Everybody been talking about it. Some courteousing, some have not. We see you. Okay. Some have reached out. Some tried to rip the video. All good. We know where y'all live. But now, according to Stephen A. Smith, Michael Jordan has entered the debate.
I have to read you a text that I received this morning at 5:54 a.m. Good morning, sir. Although greatest of anything is always a debate, I beg to differ on greatest point guard of all time with what you said. Magic Johnson is easily the best point guard of all time. Steph Curry is very close, but not in front of Magic. You must define point guard to really have a serious debate. Steph Curry is by far the best shooter of all time. Yes, his movement has created many shots for his teammates. He's a career 43% three-point shooter. But Magic Johnson invented the triple-double. Not true invented, but makes it more noticeable in terms of the impact on the game. It's a point guard stat, to be honest. Magic was the best. We can go on, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you get the point. By the way, Magic has 5 NBA championships.
Wow.
That quote this morning at 5:45 was from Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Wow!
Magic not a point guard.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, I'm just asking.
Magic not a point guard.
I mean, what is Mike? I mean, he's supposed to say that.
Mike ain't say that shit.
I mean, that's his boy.
Nah,
They was just on vacation together.
I think Mike said it because and today you can get called out, and one of them little Jordan boys is gonna call him out if MJ didn't do it.
But Mike wouldn't even comment on who's the greatest player of all time.
Because it has nothing to do with
Why would he comment on the best point guard? And then why would you say it after Steph's calling himself?
Because he had to get this man's approval. Because I hope he just didn't go out and read this man's text unsolicited.
I think MJ said he could share it.
Yeah, so he asked, do you mind if I read this on air? And he said yes, so yeah.
Fuck out of here, Mike.
I ain't taking a picture with no niggas.
Here's
I think, because
here's my
lie on national television.
When we say
just blatant like that, hopefully.
When we say define point guards, I mean, that's a great question because when I was knocking Steph for pure points, it was the pure point, right? What is a pure point? What is a point guard? When it comes to Magic, you're talking about a guy who is a one of one, right? It's not a traditional person. So you're trying to put a guy, it's like Joker. You're trying to put a guy who's just a basketball player in this position to identify with it, right? Magic was a small forward shooting guard coming into the NBA. His first 4 years, he was the shooting guard. Norm Nixon was the point guard, right? When they moved Norm, they gave the ball to Magic because it was better played by a guy at that size, right? So he was your small forward who guarded the small forward but had the ball in his hand. And because he did what he did, like Joker does, they called him the point guard, right? That's where point forward comes in from.
Thank you.
So if we want to use, and I always did this to people just to fuck with them, if you're going to use Magic as the best point, I'm going to use LeBron.
Exactly.
Now LeBron's the #1 point guard. Then you can be like, oh, LeBron ain't the point. Well, he led his team in assists every fucking year.
Every year,
in the season. So he has to be the best point guard of all time, right? So if you're going to play with Magic, because LeBron was 2.0 of Magic Johnson. Coming into the NBA, he was Magic Johnson with Jordan-like jumping ability.
Absolutely.
That was the frame. So you can't now take him out of it because he's done surpassed all of these stats, right? So if you're going to try to use Magic as the point guard, then you have to throw LeBron as the best point guard ever, but you're not going to do that.
But this is what we've done. Just with that conversation alone, we've forgotten about what we're talking about. We're talking about Steph Curry. Fuck what Mike talking about Magic, fuck Oscar, fuck all them. Steph Curry's the best point guard of all time because he said so. That's it.
That's not
everybody else's opinion about it. Don't fucking matter to Steph Curry because he say, I'm the best. So everybody else coming in saying you're not, you're a fucking hater. The nigga said it himself. I'm the best. Who better than me? My stats prove it. My championships prove it. What the fuck else is there to talk about except for the hate?
When it comes to Magic, this is the only problem I have when we're talking about the greatest, right? Where's the factor in that he came into a dynasty, right? The team went to the Western Conference Final 2 years straight. 2 years straight, which means this is a fucking good team. They add him, win a championship, right? His legacy is already above everyone because he already got put onto a dynasty team, right? Out of his first 10 years, he went to the finals 8 times, won 5 championships, right? In that same time frame, he was the #1 pick, won a championship. The reason they didn't win it the second time, because he was hurt. He comes back healthy, championship, right? Then they lost, and then they get James Worthy, the #1 pick. The team was so good, James Worthy didn't even start the first year, right? He didn't even, the number one pick didn't even start. That's how good this team was, right? So you're inherited this greatness where you become, this is like giving fucking the Lakers, Boston.
Yes.
We get Boston, you give,
Detroit.
Bucks, Miami, you give them Wendy.
When they don't
Victor, you give him Victor. Like, well, come on, that's like, you know what I mean? He's gonna get inherited greatness off the jump, right? No, Magic did his thing.
Absolutely.
Right.
Taking it off his plate.
No one's taking up.
Right.
When you're talking about greatness and you're talking about championships and you're trying to stand behind championships, your team went to the finals 8 straight times and they just added Jew. They just added Jew. You won a championship because your team was a Western Conference Final team 2 years fucking straight. Like, this is not, you didn't go to some bottom feeding team and you had to build it like Steph.
So are you saying that the conversation is questionable with Magic being considered the greatest?
When we're talking about greatness, right? It's what did you, like, it should be where did you start from? What did you build?
Where'd you take it to?
If Magic got dropped onto a Western Conference Finals team and then the next step is championship every year, I mean, come on. Like, we're talking about like Steph. They won 26 games, 23 games. They drafted him. He's got hurt. You know, they get Clay. Clay's the number 11th pick, right? Clay didn't start.
Right.
Clay didn't start.
Right.
Then 2 more seasons. Then you get Draymond Green. Draymond Green didn't start the first 3 seasons. The first year he started, they won a championship.
Yep.
Right? Then they became a dynasty.
Yep.
Right? A bottom-feeding team became the dynasty versus the guy who got inherited the dynasty. Right? Back then, it was flipping coins. All right, head or tail. It was like fucking football.
Yeah.
Who gonna get the kickball first? That's who got the number 1 or 2 pick. So as long as you flip, you got 1 or 2. They got that twice.
Yep.
Right.
Now you're talking about a dynasty getting the number 1 pick 2 out of the next 4 years. It's bullshit.
Yeah, that'd
Think about think about Bird. Bird goes that you get inherited a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, just say like.
Yeah, you go right to Boston.
So Tim Duncan was the pick in #1 pick, and just imagine if they would have had the #1 pick like
3 years later. But not that. Tim Duncan's right. His team was a great team.
Yep.
They was the number 1 team. Then they all got hurt. Got the number 1 pick. Add Tim Duncan. We're dynasty again. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit, you know what I mean? But no one wants to throw into that equation.
Wasn't that their first championship?
Who?
Tim Duncan got there?
99.
99.
But it was just like the Lakers. They're tweeting on.
Oh, they were right there all the time.
Yeah, they're right there on the.
They
That's
had
what I
a
said.
nasty season to get Duncan then, but before that, they were solid.
Before that, they 1-2-1-1-2 like it.
Yeah, but everybody go always have an opinion, man, because you can't.
But I don't think your opinion is a hater, though.
Yeah, not at all. This nigga's delusional over here, man.
Haters.
Like
hate.
No, it's just. But that's what
Your
I'm saying.
opinion ain't positive. It's fucking hate.
So to me, like, if we're gonna say the best point guard ever, I have to give it to the guy who technically, in our sense, came from the mud, right? He actually built, like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
We see your team was trash, and y'all built this championship.
Yeah.
Steph Curry built this championship. Bird and Larry, y'all was given a great team. Tim Duncan, he was given a great team. Like, everyone's not fortunate.
Yeah, it don't take
like
nothing
that.
away from their greatness, but the fact remains.
Yeah, you're starting
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, so-
and all you got to do is just walk, motherfucker, just up the thing. Everybody else is starting from the bottom.
Because everything is already set for you.
Yes.
So all you gotta do is just it's
don't
all
fuck
set.
it up.
So what's the criteria?
For which one?
Greatest point guard of all time.
He said
It's everything. Influence, like, you know, like, how many, when Magic was doing, like, what was his staple on the world?
Showtime.
Showtime.
Okay, but
Fast
him
break,
himself.
the fast break.
Shoes,
No.
right? Was anybody trying to mimic? Was anybody trying to create 6'9" point guards back then? No,
Smiling.
right?
No look passes.
I mean, but what
look
what I'm saying is, was the game being mimicked after Magic? No.
Pistol Pete was doing no looks before.
But I'm saying the game wasn't mimicked after Magic because Jordan came.
Yeah.
Jordan
No,
came right after that, and everybody wanted to be Jordan.
And everybody wants to fly.
But to say
Nobody wanted to
there
be
was
Bird.
there was a moment of Magic, no look, Showtime.
No, for sure. No,
there was
for
a
sure.
moment.
But
before
not
Jordan
like
got
Mike
there.
though. Mike came in.
No, I'm saying before Mike got there was the Magic moment.
there's-
Magic had his time.
No, there's been
It was
three,
it was
It
white
might
or
have been a
black.
small moment.
It was white or black.
three
Bird or Magic.
people
It's been three
single-hand-
game changers.
that single-handedly changed the game of basketball, dog. Three. Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, and Steph Curry, man. Changed the game of basketball. The way the game of basketball is ref, coached, played, drafted, all them three guys single-handedly changed the game of basketball. dog.
Allen Iverson?
No.
He changed. He changed. He changed the culture.
The culture of
He
basketball.
didn't change the
I said
game.
basketball.
He changed the culture.
Culture of basketball.
Like everybody wanted to have braids. Everyone wanted to get
Absolutely.
sleeve tattoos.
Tattoos.
The culture,
Yeah.
absolutely. We talking about the game.
No, for
Inside the game. Inside the game itself.
No,
like
we can't, for sure. We can't,
everybody
we can't,
wants to be Curry.
And everybody was, motherfuckers was getting
I
drafted.
fucking disagree.
How?
Everybody's getting drafted because of Shaq. Because of Shaq.
Disagree, God damn it.
Everybody was
How?
everybody was
Because I'm
getting
entitled
drafted.
to my fucking opinion.
Cool.
God damn it.
Everybody was getting
Just like
drafted.
just like everybody
because
got
of Shaq.
assholes.
They was loading up on big men just cause Shaq. Right now, everybody, every AAU kid wants to be like Steph. I want to be like Mike. Every kid wants to be like Steph.
Because there's more
let's
kids
put
that
it to
Steph
bed.
It's
size.
Put the discussion to bed. Let's put the discussion to bed.
So-
it is, yeah.
Count our days on the discussion.
No, but that's the thing. So when I say who's the best point guard ever, I gotta look at who transcended, who everyone identifies with,
Total body of work.
who started from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
Right now, that's Curry.
So you give Steph
Like I give him. Look, when it comes to the numbers, Magic, what he did, goddamn,
don't
it can't
take
be,
that off his
it
name.
can't be
No,
duplicated.
for sure.
It can't be duplicated. If he was in today's game, goddamn it, he wouldn't be stopped.
Yeah, because you can't
Right?
discredit what's on paper. You can't discredit
Yeah.
at all.
So would you say?
But if they start, but I can tell you this:
But-
if he started from the bottom, he wouldn't have 5 rings.
But what's more impressive to you, Magic's 5 rings or Steph's 4? Knowing that Steph got
Steph's
two.
4.
Steph got 2 of those with KD though.
Steph's 4 rings.
Come on, Joe. Don't do that shit.
I'm just asking you.
Not talk about that bubble ring.
What do you mean?
But what I'm saying is, you got Magic. You talk about he coming to a winning franchise, right? 8 finals to get those 5 rings. Steph got the 2 with KD, 1 outside of those.
Bron got 2 with Dwayne Wade.
Oh,
Gotta throw that out
for
there.
sure.
What I'm
I'm not even bringing Bron into the equation, but I'm just saying. So do you think Magic's 5 are more impressive or Steph's 4?
You have to go with the guy who had a bad team. Just like Michael Jordan's legacy is built from where he started to what he did. He grinded from the beginning.
For sure.
That's what I'm saying. You're talking about a guy who got a golden spoon from the beginning of his career. Right? You came in. You have arguably the number 2 scoring, the best scorer
All time.
all time. You have him on your team at the beginning of your career. Right? What else you got to do? What worst case scenario? Giving the ball to that dude right there. Worst case scenario.
As a point
That's what I said. Magic is the shooting guard. Him and Norm Nixon splitting the point guard responsibilities. And then when they realized, Magic, let's just go put this ball in Magic's hand.
They were both averaging like 10 assists.
assists.
I mean, that should, if you go back and look at those stats and those numbers, what they were doing in that show.
That's what, when you can bring the number 1 draft pick off the bench, you got a fucking great ass team.
Yeah.
That's how great your team is.
Blame the Cavs.
Right? I'm just saying that's just the reality of it. We don't want to talk about the reality. We don't want to talk about what was going on back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s when it came to drafting.
Yeah.
Oh, you, everybody give it this, and we'll give you our pick. If we last, flip the coin.
Yeah. But even how the Lakers got worthy from the Cavs trade, and the NBA instituted the rule where you couldn't trade first-round picks in consecutive years because the Cavs owner was smoking crack.
For the second time in season 1, I fucking agree with Gilbert. I fucking agree with
This is number 2?
number 2. I fucking agree with you, my man.
we
I
finally
fucking
did it.
agree. Steph
Finally
Curry.
got one.
I fucking agree.
I mean, there's a lot of discussion. Like, I'm old head, I'm always going to just rock with Magic just because of the influence on the court, off the court. If Steph opens up a movie theater with unlimited strawberry soda refills in the hood, he will be.
No.
That's how you feel. That's what I need. That's all you got to do.
But as I said, the impact. But that's the problem is the impact that Magic, Bird had. It was racism going in, and they was motherfucker battling that bitch out on the court, right? And they was battling that motherfucker who was gonna win, black or white at that time. Like, listen, we get that, right? But when it comes down to like when you're talking about somebody's legacy, it seems like it's a better feel if the guy. Like, we like Batman, we good. We like Batman, billionaire becomes, who he is. Yeah, you got all the tools, bitch. You know what I mean? You got all the tools, goddamn it.
You can pay for everything.
We do want to see the Joker whoop your ass a couple times. We do. But, Steph coming from how he started his career, hurt, losing, bad team, and they got better within the organization to build what they built.
Yep.
Right, that's way more impressive than Western Conference Finals, Western Conference Final. Oh, we got the number 1 pick.
What's up, everybody? As you know, Gil's Arena is presented by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest and best way to play fantasy sports. You can pick higher or lower on your favorite players' fantasy projections, and you have the opportunity to win up to 20 times your money in a single night. We're doing the 5 ways, the 4 ways, the 3 ways. You can do them 2 ways too, but the real bread is at the 5 way. Who you rolling with right now?
I just picked the 5-way.
That WNBA.
WNBA, all 5. Let's rock it.
Let's get this
Yes,
bread.
sir.
Now, Underdog is available in 30 states and Canada, except Ontario. Get your minds right. Get on with the Underdog Fantasy crew. And if you want to get down, use promo code GIL, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. You put 100 in, they give you 100 right off the top. You start with 200. Really get them pick'ems going. Everybody out there, make your next move your best move. Download the Underdog Fantasy app. Use promo code GIL, and they will match your first deposit up to $100. You can't beat that. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Keep watching. Keep supporting the movement.
I'll do it again. Use promo code GIL.
Sound like a good promo code to me.
Agent Zero. Change the game. Put that respect on his name. Look, with the honor call for greatness, the chosen a few that carry the gift of genius, who do what they do, who possess finesse of